Yay! Joy, joy! Things look a little different, huh? We'll chat. I did the thing. Hi, welcome. It's trainer Mary Beth Rockwell coming to you live for the Next Fitness Show, brought to you by the Next Fitness Thing. I have less hair today. I got my done-do did, and I had that done yesterday. And I'm actually in this kind of ties in with the subject of the show today. So stand by for news on that. But I feel like free and like I lost 17 pounds just by cutting all my thick hair off. So welcome aboard, everybody who's with us live. Thank you to everybody checking the recording as well. Let's bring Alexis in here. Alexis, thank you for being a trooper and hanging in with us and saying hey, because you still have a lot of things going on behind the scenes here. So we keep sending you lots of good, positive mojo.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Your hair looks amazing.
Thank you. I used to have short hair like this, like when like 30, 20 years ago or so. Anyway, probably earlier than that. And then I just decided I'm tired of this, so I'm going to grow it long because I want to be versatile with it. And then all I ever did was wear it in a ponytail anyway. So it's like, okay, let's do this. And then we'll talk more about where this is headed. But I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you for taking time out of your busy Friday, maybe, to join us live. And we do this show live every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And if you can't catch that, that's what the recording is for. So if you're catching us there, thank you very much. We're excited to be bringing you yet again a Fernando Friday. My dear friend and our beloved, dearly departed ish trainer, Fernando Ventresca, is going to be our guest. We recorded this interview with him yesterday, and it's going to be about stepping outside of your comfort zone. Kind of like this, all right? But maybe in other aspects of your life, not just your hair. We got some chat action going on. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Let's see. RD Sharon B says, whoa, how fun, thanks. Donna D says, looks great, thank you. Megan, whoop, whoop, says, love the new do. Y'all are so kind. Mary says, hello. Kelly says, beautiful hair, MB. Your hair looks great. Who's MB? Is that, let's see, Sharon says, what a great surprise. Am I saying my hair looks great? Is that what MB is? Hold on. I'm confused. No, anyway. No, Mary says, oh, thank you, Mary. Okay, appreciate all the comments. My hairstylist is a wizardess. So I just want to shout out Sherry for just making this whole transition happen. It was actually supposed to be a little shorter, but she talked me off the ledge and said, let's do like a halfway point, like a compromise cut, just to make sure that you're okay with it. Because if I cut it all off now and you look in the mirror and go like, oh, what did I just do? So that was probably a good call. I think I might go a little shorter, but we'll see. All right. So on the show, otherwise, we, aside from Fernando Friday and our chat with him, which is a great one. So hang on for this one, team. We will, of course, have movement opportunities for you, the mid-show stretch and the move of the week featuring the aforementioned Fernando Ventresca. We will have some announcements. We have some things coming up this weekend and the next couple of days that we want you to be aware of. Big things, in fact, so stay tuned for that. We'll have a tip, assuming we got the time for the tip, we'll squeeze that in, and it's a good one, kind of tying things together at the end of the show. And let us do the housekeeping, please. Like right now, if you have not given us a thumbs up, please do that now. We have determined, and we heard from the people who know these things, the earlier in the show that you give us a thumbs up, the more notice we get in the algorithms. So do it now, please, and thank you. All right, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now, and thank you. If you get the opportunity to watch our videos and give us some more watch hours, that would be an amazing gift that you can give us. You can share our videos to people in your life that you care about that you think might get something out of them. And then hit the notification bell, the little bell icon. Gives you an alert every time we put something new up on the site so you never miss a thing. And we got awesome things here at the Next Fitness Thing. And if you are not aware of what we have to offer, I'd advise you to check out our website, thenextfitnessthing.com. It's going to blow you away if you haven't checked this out yet. So please do. Okay, Alexis, are we queued up with Fernando? Are we ready to rock?
Ready.
All right, sweet. The lovely and talented Fernando Ventresca coming to us from Lisbon, Portugal. And he's got a whole new thing in life. He's still with us at the Next Fitness Thing, though. So let's send it to me and Fernando and take it away. Look who's back. It's the beloved Fernando Ventresca. Nice to see you, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Our teammates miss you so much from the training schedule, but you are off doing a wonderful thing with your life, and it comes into play in the discussion that we're going to have on this interview. So we're going to discuss stepping outside your comfort zone. So
Yes.
and for those who are not familiar, remind everybody why you left our TNFT training schedule to do your own thing and what you're doing with your own thing.
Because I completely stepped out of my comfort zone, for sure. I began a life coaching business based here in Lisbon. Now, my clients are back in the US. And one of the reasons, because I get asked occasionally why I chose to become a life coach, is because it was one of the things that I've been exploring that scared me the most. It took me completely out of my comfort zone. And then eventually it started to feel more comfortable. Like when I finally decided to just kind of press the gas and just go for it was when I was starting to finally feel like, okay, maybe this is for me. And maybe this feeling of danger or just being somewhere where I just don't feel like I belong yet. It was necessary. It was necessary to through get through that period or into that space to get to the other side.
Yeah. Just a
So
little bit of backstory because you and I share similar experience in that we met when we were working on the radio together, and then we
yes,
both decided we are done with the radio business, but what do we do next? So I
correct.
I became a trainer, and you experimented with
I
various things, and then you landed
I
on this life coaching things, which
can I
was like,
can, can I tell you, I threw myself out of the comfort zone so many different times.
right?
It's a wonder I didn't hurt myself. Yeah, because
You
even
had a
when
safe
I
landing though.
thankfully, like
Yeah,
there weren't very many hard landings. There were definitely some hard lessons that needed to be learned. But yes, in fact, I also write a blog too, another thing that was stepping out of my comfort zone.
it's
And
great.
one of the blogs I wrote about just all of the different jobs or career possibilities, and literally like the list was about 15 long. It just went
Bartending
on
was
and
one of
on.
them. I mean, yeah.
Bartending. I was going to be a flight attendant. I was gonna be a business owner. I was gonna open a bar. I mean, just on and on and on. And you know what? Some of those things are still in play. They may not necessarily be at the top of my priority list, but they're still there. And you just kind of have to figure out where they fit. Sometimes they
Yeah,
can be, they can be a hobby, or maybe they're just things that don't really necessarily take hours of your time every single day or every week. There's something that you sort of work on or pay attention to occasionally, and over time it just something just sort of builds up there and it turns into something, or
yeah,
it just makes you happy. It doesn't
right.
really have to have anything attached to it at
Yeah.
all.
Can we circle back because this
Yeah,
is we're talking for the time being. We've been talking about mostly career-based changes and getting outside your comfort zone, but this could apply
right.
in many realms in life. It could be your health and wellness. It could be your relationships. It could be yada yada yada. Fill in the blank. So let's keep this all in mind. That just because we might be focusing to this point about people like changing career paths and things like that, these things we're going to talk about can apply in other realms as well. So the one thing
Absolutely.
I wanted to check with first things first. Why should somebody step outside their comfort zone? It's like, yeah, I'm okay where I am. I mean, I'm doing all right, and it's okay, and let's live with that.
Well, I think that even before you step out of the comfort zone, I think the question you just, well, were what you had just said before, where you ask yourself, am I okay? Well, be honest with that. Are you happy to go to work every single day? Is your job still fulfilling you? Is it making you happy? Do you feel like your talent is being respected and appreciated? Be 100% honest with yourself when you ask that question. Am I okay? And also ask yourself, can I be better than okay? Is there and because chances are it's going to be worth it to give it to try something new, to step out of the comfort zone, and explore something that you've always wanted to try. I highly recommend. And I don't, and I will say this, and I don't, I obviously don't take this lightly. I know, we all have to pay our bills and we have to, I'm not saying that, you get up tomorrow, you quit your job and, you go and start busking on the streets of the major city nearby because you feel like I need to be a singer. But
I had about a 3 to 5 year glide path from the time that I decided I was going to leave the radio industry to the time that I actually started making money as a trainer. So yeah, I was working both at the same time for a while, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am definitely still in. I am on that glide path currently, but again, as you start to just sort of, a lot of times, like, yeah, you obviously you can measure your success financially, but also you can also measure how successful you are by how you're feeling and how good you're feeling about doing what you've always wanted to do, or maybe that thing in your mind that you have always wanted to try because you thought that you might be good at it. And again, it doesn't have, again, it isn't necessarily always about a career, as you said. This is the next fitness thing. So maybe you've always wanted to be a runner, but you've been too afraid. Or I know for me, years ago, I tried out for a softball team. I thought I would be horrible, but when I went out there, I realized, well, I'm not the worst. I'm not the best, but I'm certainly not the worst one out here. And I actually turned out to be a pretty good player.
And you had fun,
again,
right?
I had the best time, and I did it for several years. I played softball for 7 or 8 years, and I was a kid that really wasn't very athletic. I mean, I wasn't, not at all.
Same. Yeah.
Exactly.
As far as when we chat with TNFT teammates and things like that who are maybe in our UNU program, and we're doing strategy sessions or things like that with them, and it's like, if you check in with them about what is keeping them from stepping outside their comfort zone, it's scary. And honestly, yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it totally is, because when you're settled into, like, your job is paying you well enough and you've figured out how to make your ends meet, and you don't want to rock the boat there, right? Or again, like I remember having thoughts going back to playing softball, like, sometimes people would get injured, sometimes they trip, they fall, maybe a ball hits them, something bad would happen, and you might wind up in the hospital. Who knows? There's always something, if you think about it. There's always going to be numerous reasons you can think of to keep you from actually doing something. And I think what's more beneficial is to think about more reasons of why you should try something, do something new.
I love that. I love that. And a lot of people get to near the end of their lives, and it's just like, oh, I wish I would have done X.
Yes.
And what does it hurt to give it a try before that time, so you don't live with that regret all your life? We're actually going to be doing an upcoming episode about living with regret, by the way. So this will kind of dovetail nicely into that episode as well. So thoughts on just like, what do you got to lose, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you really want to? I mean, let's be real. We only have so much time on this planet to do all the things that we've always wanted to do. And again, do you really want to be that person who makes it to that age? Or maybe, unfortunately, not all of us get to maintain our health throughout our years, where we don't even get the choice, maybe later on down the line too. Right. So don't be the one that says, man, I've always wanted to do that and I really regret it. It doesn't really take much just to try something and see if you like it. And if you don't, you don't, and then you move on to the next thing that you've always wanted to try, that you're curious about.
Yeah. And I say in a lot of my classes, baby steps are still steps. So if you're stagnating in one place, nothing's going to change for the better. And you will never know unless you take that first step. Right. So again, going back to like the fitness realm of things, you want to start running, but you've never run before, or maybe you used to, and you're trying to work your way back to that point, and you got to start small. You can't just go 0 to 60 and expect success, because you could injure yourself, overtrain, and all those things. So you got to be smart about it, but the little steps are going to add up over time, like building blocks.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of this as well, where we get sort of overwhelmed because we think of whatever this interest is or whatever this difference is, whatever's making us uncomfortable as being like this big, huge thing, when really just to try it is really just kind of taking a bite out of it.
Exactly.
And that's really it. And once, and just like eating anything that's delicious, that first
Take a
bite could
bite,
be amazing.
yeah, or it might taste like garbage, but
Right.
then you don't eat it anymore. You should pick something else to eat, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I love where this is headed, and of course, you and me and our history. And it's just like you deal with one of your specialties areas is actually people like us who left the radio business and or were
Yes.
forced to leave the radio business in some cases, and they did not have a plan B.
No.
So
And
that can be
that is
super
really, really
scary.
hard because
Yeah.
a lot of what keeps people from trying something new is because what they're already doing is more than just a paycheck, right? Like,
Right.
and I'm sure you felt this way as well. I know I certainly did, but a lot of it is your identity, especially in the US. I've also learned that about, living in Portugal now for 2 years. In fact, I can't believe it's even been 2 years,
I
but it is
know.
2 years. It's crazy. But, you know, it does not feel like Portuguese people tie as much, they just don't let as much ride on their jobs. And
Yeah.
their families are definitely much more important than any job. Or as I like to say, like a person in the US will miss their kid's game or some family outing because they had to work. Someone here in Portugal will miss work because they had a family gathering. It's just
Yeah.
the priorities are completely
Then when
different.
you get outside of the States, it's literally a different world. But yes, as
Yeah.
far as that goes, for sure.
But
So
going back
yeah,
to how much we place upon our jobs, right?
yeah,
We allow it to affect our family time. And again, I know for you and I, like we were on the radio, right? We're sort of local celebrities, if we're fortunate enough to sort of have that, to have that sort of impact in our communities. So, our identity rides on that as well. Like if I'm not that guy on the radio, who am I?
yeah.
So but it's been another, at least for me, it's been amazing to just not have that to rely on or to worry about anymore. Quite frankly, like it's been nice to just kind of figure out, okay, well, yeah, who am I if I'm not that guy on the radio? And is he just as cool? Is he
Oh, I
is he
know
a
he
cool
is,
guy?
but I mean, geez, how can you not be? We're gonna need to pull this glide path in onto the runway here pretty soon. But I do
Alrighty.
wanted to kind of sum up if somebody is facing this big life choice and they're just paralyzed with fear, what's the first step that you would recommend for them?
I would say the first step, and I'll give you two steps, but
Okay.
first step is really just think about why, what is so fearful about it? What is there really to be afraid of? And quite often we can talk ourselves off the ledge and realize that maybe isn't as scary as we think it is. And of course, use the people around you. Talk to the people that you trust. Talk to the people that you love. Tell them what you want to do. And I'm sure that they'll be just as supportive and not just as supportive, but they'll be super supportive and really, really excited to help you along the way. And secondly, as we mentioned before, and I think it bears repeating, don't let it overwhelm you. Just
Right.
take it bit by bit, try it, just have a little bit, and then see what happens after that.
I remember my first step was I was already from radio to doing training. I was working out regularly, and it's just like I was like, well, let's take this class and see if I can learn how to do such and such in fitness. And I did, and it's just like, oh, I can do this. And then it just
Yeah,
snowballed from there, and I got certified, and started making gainful employment, salary from it. And it's just like, all right, that was great. So why did I
exactly.
wait so long, right? That's
Right,
another thing.
right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
don't wait.
And that's just it, right? Because like so much of it was like, and even once you started rolling, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get to where you are now in 5 minutes, right?
Oh, no, 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 no,
You
no.
have to give yourself you
Ooh,
give yourself the time.
when I was a baby trainer, I was just like I was scraping by, just like there was a lot I didn't know that I learned with experience, and it's just like that's going to be the case for pretty much any new experience. It's going to be new. If you're doing something physical, your body is going to feel different ways about things sometimes. So, but that's part of the
Absolutely.
journey, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been amazing, and I'm sure we could talk on this subject for hours, and we could just talk in general for hours because us. But let's remind everybody where they can find you and how they can reach
Oh,
out to you if they would like to, because everybody misses you here.
absolutely. You can go. I have a website nowadays, which has been great, goodenergycoaching.net. If you want to talk about stepping out of your comfort zone and if you'd like some help with that, I am here to do that. I am focusing a lot on my fellow radio colleagues as well, but honestly, I'm talking to everybody, anybody who's got a dream or a goal or something that they want to change. I am definitely here to help at goodenergycoaching.net. And check out my Substack as well. I'm writing about living in Portugal. It's called Just Go Already. So if you are on Substack, I would appreciate the if you could subscribe. It'd be great. I'm going to keep on writing there. I'm really that's as I said before, another reason to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm loving it. It's like one of the best things I've ever done is to just start writing and sharing these stories with everyone.
I just cut off half my hair before I saw you, and I feel great. So
And you look great. You look fantastic.
thank
I
you, darling.
love it.
Thank you. All
Love
right,
it.
Fernando Ventresca, we love you so much, and keep
Ah,
on rocking. And we will have you back on the show for another Fernando Friday as soon as possible because
I
it's awesome.
I hope so. I'm here for you. Okay. Did you
Okay.
know? Wow.
What's not to love, right? So, thank you, Fernando. Always a pleasure to have him on. He's an awesome human being. And we have passed along many times how much y'all miss him on the trainer side of things here. But, he's around with us. So just stay tuned. Alexis, come on in here and let us move on with some movement activity because it's about that time, right? So,
Let's do it.
let's do it. Okay. So we have for our mid-show stretch break, this is going to be a mobility exercise and a little subtle strengthening too. And Alexis, you chose this one. This has got an interesting name. It's called the Puppet Master, and you'll see what we mean when we roll the beautiful video of that. So here is the lovely Veronica. And oh, by the way, in the chat while we were doing the interview, Jenny, thank you, says I love your hair, MB. Appreciate that. All right, Veronica's here demoing this, and Alexis, talk this one out for us.
All right, so this is a shoulder mobility move. You usually find this in our bar classes, but it's not exclusively a bar move. This is really a mobility move. So your palms are forward and then palms are down. That's usually how I cue this. In yoga, you would call this cactus pose in the elbows wide, palms forward position. What we're really doing here is mobilizing shoulders. So your shoulders are going into external and kind of neutral, maybe slightly internal rotation. You can use weights and you don't have to. So if you want to just do this as body weight with just your hand, I hope you're doing it right now because this is a great move, especially if you're sitting at a desk a lot, especially if you're kind of round shouldered. This one can really help.
I'm doing the side view right now. So up, down. Now, I work with some training clients, IRL, and maybe some teammates as well, who maybe can get to about here.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you have for them?
Keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Yeah, I would mention stretch your chest a little bit more because a more open chest is going to help mobilize your shoulders as well. And then, yeah, do it a lot. Yeah, like whenever you get an opportunity, just limber that up. And this, your rotator cuffs are in here as well, supporting things. And so it's good to wake them up and say, hey, get to work, support my joints because it's not fun when they don't. And I've been there. So
yeah, and the foam rolling your chest can be helpful for that. Honestly, it might feel surprising. It might be surprising to hear this, but foam rolling your lats, like under your arms, might actually be what is needed to make this happen here. And I honestly, the other thing that you can do, and I know we don't have a video to show it, but using resistance bands with this, if you are challenged in that move, using a resistance band like the handle kind, even where you would be pulling back to work on that, that could be something that would help you to progress your mobility in that way too.
Very good. And if you are more open in your shoulders, and again, that's going to open up your chest and your posture is going to improve and help prevent that rounding and all those things. So that's a good one to, in many respects, to slip into your daily habits if you can. All right.
Jenny's
so,
asking in the chat, how many reps should you do?
Let's see. I mean, how much time you got? No, I'm kidding. I mean, if I had a minute, I'd do them for like a minute, like do that for about a minute, just get it loose, get it limber. And if you get an opportunity to repeat it multiple times a day, you could.
Yeah,
it's not,
I think
it's
it
not
matters
really
if you're
stressful
using
necessarily,
weights.
right?
It matters if
Right.
you're using weights. So if you're using like something that's kind of heavier, then I probably wouldn't suggest more than 20 reps at a time or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing body weight, just make sure it doesn't hurt. And I think you're pretty good with practicing as much as you want to.
Yeah.
But I think the 1 minute idea is really good. And if I was going to count reps, I would say to at least do 3 sets of 10 and maybe go for 50.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Especially with the light weights. Now, generally speaking, when I'm working with peeps with shoulder things and weights, I say don't go heavy on your weights. Veronica
Right.
had those small weights that were very manageable. That's the safest way to go if you're in doubt and you want to use weights. I would not be using 10-pound weights to do this one, especially if I had any shoulder
Not when
or
you first
elbow
start, for
issues.
sure.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah. So keep it safe, please. Always.
Yep.
Okay.
Good call.
So I hope you got something out of that. I hope you're all doing it with us. And we didn't have any sides to switch because we were all going like this. And you could also go on down to the tarmac with flags and guide jets if you want to at some point, right? Or dance. There you go. It's, if you do alternating sides, like walk like an Egyptian in a way. So, all right. I digress. All right, let's move on to we have a move of the week, and it's Fernando on the video. And I don't think we've had a Fernando video on the show yet. So
Nope,
this is
it's our first one.
exciting. Yay. Okay, this is a great core exercise. I love this video. This is called a figure 8. And you will notice that is the direction that Fernando's legs and feet are moving. Figure 8 is a sideways 8, like an infinity symbol, basically. But you notice he has his hands underneath his back for lumbar support. I love that cue because I do that myself. So some people might do this with their arms at their sides on the floor or the mat, whatever they're working on. If you have any discomfort in your back, I would suggest sliding your hands underneath you for just that little bit of extra support. If you can do it on your own, great, do that because it's going to help make your core stronger. But notice how low Fernando's legs are on this one. This is deep. And Alexis, do you want to address this?
Yeah, I would say Fernando is very strong, and it might not be appropriate for you to do this with your legs that close to the ground.
Right.
So if you do need to put your hands under your glutes, then I would also say your legs are probably too low to the ground too. So maybe lift your legs a little higher and see if that takes the pressure out of your lower back.
Good call.
You
All
could
right.
bend your knees too if this is real. I know for some people, especially if you have lower, issues with getting your lower abs to fire, or if you have lower back issues in general, you may need to do this with your knees bent instead of doing it with your legs straight. And that's completely legit. Just make sure that, you don't feel lower back pain as you're doing it. That part's important.
Exactly. Listen to your body, keep it safe, keep it pain-free. And so I hope if you're able to get down on the floor or the ground to do that with us too, congratulations. I hope you listened to your body and found the version that works for you. All right. So moving on,
Kelly's saying, I just did figure 8 in yoga class, and Fernando, great move.
Yeah. All right, we'll let him know. We'll pass that along for him. Okay, announcement time. We have Alexis is going to be busy tomorrow because it is the baseline class, the Blaster Baseline 55 class, in fact, of our May the 4th Be With You second annual 5K training program. Now, everybody watching this, whether you are a TNFT teammate or not, whether you are signed up for this training program or not, you can join the Blaster Baseline class. And it's kind of like a sampler of what is going to come over the next 4 weeks. So, Alexis, is your kitty down there? I just saw you looking downward. So, kitty. So, Alexis, you're teaching the baseline class tomorrow. So, fill us in on what people will expect.
Sure, great. The baseline is really your chance to check in and see where you are in this 5K process. So, it might be that you are seeing how fast you complete a 5K, and it might be that you are seeing how far you can get in 55 minutes, and it might just be that you're seeing how it feels to exercise for 55 minutes straight. So no matter what, I encourage you to come. It's going to be really fun and it's free. So please come. It is a little earlier than we have been doing these. So we're doing this at 8 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. So if you are used to doing that a little later with us, make sure that you check your time. It's at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And we've got the swag.
Yes.
This is our first pullover hoodie we've ever had. So that's
May the
exciting.
4th be with you. 2025 5K with the TNFT
It does
tree
say
logo
2025
just
right there.
tucked in there, right? So collect them all. They're collector's items. So that is in our merch store, as well as being, if you sign up for the premium level of the Make Your Way to 5K training program, your swag is included with your package. So you might want to take advantage of that. And you get some other perks as well at that premium level too. The program's going to be 4 weeks. It culminates May the 3rd and 4th for the final 5K events. We'll have one on Saturday and one on Sunday. And here's the breakdown of what you get. There is an event only option. You could sign up to just join us on, I don't want to say just, simply to join us on May the 3rd or May the 4th, one or the other. With the training program and the premium training program, you get all those first 5 things. The training premium level, you get the personalized program, the gait analysis included as well. And then that Oliver print hoodie that we are just showed you. So again, the URL, I don't think we actually gave the URL orally, but I'll do it now. thenextfitnessthing.com/May the 4th. That's May the number 4 TH, just to make that clear. All right. Did we get it all on that, Alexis? Are we cool? Moving on?
Sure.
All right,
Sounds
sweet.
good.
First Monday of the month is coming up. It's late for April. It is on April 7th, but it will be Goals Walk 25, as it always is here at the Next Fitness Thing. First Monday of the month. This is also a free all-access class. Anybody can join us. So whether or not you have joined us yet at the Next Fitness Thing, you can come to this. And we have 3 different versions of this that are going to be live on that day, Monday, April 7th. If you can't make it live, they will be recorded so you can catch them later. And this, going back to getting outside your comfort zone and building the blocks, Goals Walk would be a great complement to the discussion that we just had today, as far as like taking the steps and laying the foundation and the groundwork to get you to whatever your goal might be. And you might need to step outside your comfort zone to get there, but it's going to be worth it if you put in the work. So please join us for that. And if you are new to us and would like to check this out, you can just go to our website, thenextfitnessthing.com/goalswalk, and there is information there. We get you set up in our platform and you'll be good to go to join us. All right. Next up, April Book Club. We just got done with the March one. We're moving on to the April one. Anna is your host this time. Team leader Anna has chosen Nora Roberts' romantic thriller, basically, from what I understand, Inheritance. And Nora Roberts, very well-known author, of course. Many peeps in our crew had said, oh yeah, I've read this book and I like it. So it'll be a good discussion. And if you haven't read it, you have until Sunday, April 27th at 1 p.m. Pacific time to finish the book and then join the discussion. And our walking book club is a 40-minute class. We don't know of anybody else that does walking book clubs. So yes. And you can just join, walk at your own pace or whatever cardio you like, and chat about your feelings about the book. So all of the book club info is at our website at thenextfitnessthing.com/book club. And then I think that's it for that. We wanted to let you know that our AMA Walk series is continuing. AMA, of course, stands for Ask Me Anything, and me on the AMA Walk this time. So these are a series of, I had fun doing this one because it's food related. Hello. 15-minute walks, and you can cruise again however you like and listen to the trainer answering questions, maybe some that you've sent in to us. So if you'd like to send us some, there's the URL on your screen, amawalk.thenextfitnessthing.com, to send in your questions. And shout out to RD Sharon B, by the way, for setting us up with some great food related questions, because of course, what a great source for food related questions in the registered dietitian, right? So appreciate it. And then I think it's Freebie Friday time. Alexis, are we good to go?
Freebie Friday.
All right, let's lay the groundwork for this one. So if you want to be a Freebie Friday winner, all you need to do to get in the running for this is to comment on any of our YouTube videos on this channel from the end of this show until basically next Thursday. And then next Friday, we'll draw a winner from the following week. Everybody that comments gets put in the drawing, and then we'll spin the wheel and find out who wins. So we have the wheel ready, do we? We do. Okay. Who's gonna win it? Spin it to win it. And Sharon Byrne. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Sharon Byrne. Yay. Newly minted certified personal trainer, mind you. Sharon Byrne. Congratulations to her. What a nice little surprise there. So way to go, Sharon. Thanks for being part of our crew. And we got a prize on the way to you. Excellent. And that's all it takes to win. Just comment on our videos and hopefully we'll get you a prize very soon. All right. I think we got time to squeeze in the tip. We've made it this far. How about it, Alexis? We good?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So we just finished the first quarter of 2025. So this is a good time to check in with especially if you set any goals or intentions for the new year. This is a good time to assess. And it's like, okay, what has gone well for me? What did I maybe have a challenge with? What direction can I go if I need to switch things up? And by the way, just one real quick thing about the hair, because I mentioned that earlier and I want to make sure that I said this before we leave. The thing that I did that I'm stepping outside my comfort zone is I've dyed my hair brown with, covering my gray for like 30 years now, and I'm phasing out the coloring of my hair. So the first step was to cut it off. And then the next step is going to be to start lightening things. And then I'm eventually going to stop coloring my hair because I'm just annoyed with it and it's expensive.
Congratulations.
So I just want to put that out for accountability, by the way. So if you see my hair changing over the months ahead, you'll know why. And again, my stylist Sherry is awesome about that. But it was kind of my quarterly check-in because at the beginning of the year, one of my intentions was to stop giving an F about so many things that I have no reason giving an F about anymore. So one of them was my hair. So that's how I am tying in my check-in. And it's like, this was a very good step in the right direction for me as far as my quarterly check-in. So Alexis, how about you?
Yeah, the quarterly check-in. I'm just amazed that we're already a quarter of the way through 2025. This year has been like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, I mean, honestly, for me, I think the biggest thing for me with this quarterly check-in is to really reassess. And I had some really ambitious goals for this year and they're still in place. But at the same time, I just have to maybe give myself a little bit of space for, obstacles that come up along the way and that kind of thing. And to really give myself like some grace for, for the process, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's happening for you, just know you're not alone in that. And it's a really normal part of the process.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you're failing and it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. You may be showing up to what you need to show up to right now. And then you need to just adjust what your goal is. And really that's kind of like where I am with it is simplify, distill it down and get really clear on what the intention is behind the goal and stay aligned with that intention. So that's where I am.
Words to live by. That's awesome. And again, if you need any help putting together your goals or figuring out if your goal is right for you, if it needs to be tweaked, join us for Goals Walk this coming Monday. That would be a great opportunity to get a learning experience in, right? So, okay, I think we've made it to the finish line. We covered everything, right? Woo! Okay, thank you very much to everybody who is joining us, all the live peeps, all the replay team, and everybody who said something nice about my hair. I love you. Alexis, we love you. Thank you for pulling the strings. You're the puppet master around here. So thank you for controlling all the puppets and not letting us break our strings. And thank you. If you have any eyes or ears on this show, please spread the word. Please like our videos. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't. Last opportunity while we're live. And share and subscribe and hit the notification bell and all the things to help us grow from this little channel to an even bigger channel so we can spread the love. All right. High fives for everybody. Boom. That is a wrap on episode 61 of the Next Fitness Show. Dang, we are piling up around here. So thank you for joining us. Want to walk like an Egyptian with us?